Yo, so how was the Keys, man?
It was actually pretty great. Really beautiful, going out to that island.
Yeah.
Nice breeze.
I can imagine. Yeah.
Great people, honestly. Really cool gift shops, all sorts of. They have really good food.
Yeah, I believe
Yeah.
it.
I'm sure.
While I was there, I was trying a lot of conch. Like, I didn't realize like that was such a big thing amongst the locals, but we were trying just a bunch of conch.
Yeah.
Are you?
Wait.
What do you mean, like it? Oh, you guys didn't probably explain that enough.
Yeah, that's got to be a
Yeah,
Keys thing.
you can get a lot of different types of conch. Really big conch. It's generally like really juicy. You can add a lot on top of it. What's up?
It's fine. It's go on. Yeah.
Yeah. You can get a lot of different flavors. Really big, juicy. Generally, it comes with a lot of stuff on it. If you don't really want that, you can always just get it off.
Okay.
Yeah,
Get it off.
it's a lot to process sometimes, but I must have ran through a lot of conch this weekend. Like, probably a solid, I can't even tell you how much.
Just going through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just running through conch. I must have like had all the conch they had there, honestly.
How much conch can a man take?
I must have had probably like 30.
What?
Yeah, like 30 conchs. Yeah, if
Good for you, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
they're technically called the Conch Republic, so like they have a lot of conch. But I'm being sarcastic and all that. But
did you ever try it before you went to the Keys? What?
Yeah.
I've dabbled, but it's not that much.
So
This was like
your
I was
experience with
holiday
conch.
splurging on conch.
Your experience.
Holiday going
Yeah.
going out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Huh.
pretty good. You guys should try it.
I'll pass, but like, thanks, man. Yeah.
Thanks for the offer, but I think I'm gonna pass too.
Yeah. While I was there, I also tried conch shells. They had like conch fritters.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had that after I was taking hella dick.
There it is.
There it is. Snap at the beginning.
Yeah.
All right.
You good?
Welcome to Bench, everybody.
Yeah. As you can see, we have a special guest. If you'd like to introduce yourself to the people, by all means.
Sure, appreciate that. My name is Javon Jones. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
So, Mr. Javon, we all went to the same high school. And you kind of did a lot in terms of like social media and kind of like bringing people together. And I think that a lot of people who are watching this generally are people who, we also know. And will probably kind of recognize some of the stuff that you've done through a lot of your skip videos and different things where you tried to bring people from the school together. And I thought that it would be interesting, to have you on the show as this way, kind of like coming full circle. I'm thinking if we can, we'll probably get some like old clips of it where like I think both Devin and I were in some of those videos too.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely just like an overall positive, entertaining person. And I thought that, this will be a cool episode this week.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah. How have you been? You've been traveling and
Been good. Basically, I joined military, like kind of straight after high school. Like COVID hit, I was like, man, I don't really know like what I want to do.
yeah.
Right.
And I was like, I looked at college. I was about to go to UCF, and I was like, all right, that's way too much. I didn't want to take those student loans, so I was like, I'll go to Air Force, get them to pay for it,
Yeah.
and go like that. But I've been good, traveling more, gaining perspective, and it's been fun. It's been fun.
Definitely. Yeah, we kind of like briefly talked about it off of or off screen. like part of traveling. Like I had just gotten back from Key West, which I'll go into a little bit later. You know, seeing how like different places can really like change your perspective on things is something that I think that I've realized I kind of want to do more too. And I've been seeing like you post up, you're in like San Francisco, and I know you said a lot about like North Cal and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I had just recently been out there, and I really enjoyed my time too. And I'm hoping you've been doing the same. You know.
Been enjoying it. This is just me. It's all personal preference, but I would say like the northern part of California, and maybe just California, is a little bit more cold. Not like physically weather cold, but like people cold. Like it's a lot of inflated ego. Versus the South, like down here, you know, people are more open, and they enjoy conversation. Up there, everybody's like in their own game, and everybody's focused on them. Which nothing wrong with being focused on yourself, but it's kind of like a isolation for everyone as we enter this digital age. So,
Yeah. Devin.
What? I've been chilling.
Yeah, have you been?
Yeah.
My voice is quiet.
No, I've been good. Yeah, we've all kind of traveled a bit, at least in the past few weeks. I know last week's episode wasn't exactly how it normally would be.
Yeah.
Just given the circumstances, we wanted to put something out. But I went to Orlando for a convention, MegaCon, and that was an experience to say the least.
Yeah.
But
You were sending me pictures of like Ric Flair, and I was like, what?
yeah, out of nowhere, I sent you a picture of some like wrestlers. It was like Rey Mysterio,
Yeah.
Ric Flair, I think Carmella.
Technical difficulties.
Sorry about that, but we're back. So yeah, I went to MegaCon. You were asking what?
So like, what generally like was what kind of like brought everything together? So like, was it a convention like just about anything, or like was it like, you know, I'm assuming comic related, you know, kind of nerdy stuff?
Pretty nerdy stuff. It's a lot of pop culture things. A lot of comic book artists there. The people from, I mean, you saw wrestlers there.
Yeah.
The cast of Cobra Kai was there.
Oh.
Which was pretty dope because
Yeah.
like I'm a big fan of that show. I think this is a little side comment, but that show in particular, I wouldn't say the acting is the best. I wouldn't say like the cinematography is the best. Some of the choreography is not the best. It's very corny, very cheesy, but I love it like all the same.
Yeah.
I don't know what sort of charm it has, but it's got a lot of it.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, just a side thing. But yeah, MegaCon is like a hodgepodge of just a lot of pop culture, and it was very claustrophobic, I'd say.
Yeah, I gotta imagine.
Yeah. Because a lot of the people are in, I'd say like really cool like cosplays and all that, but with everyone being so out there, like I just didn't want to get in anyone's way. So like walking through all the aisles was very you know. Also there was some smells.
Oh yeah, gotta
I
imagine
think
some
you
people
could
reeking.
expect that.
Yeah.
To an extent, but it was a fun time. I was looking at the Funkos, seeing if I could find an exclusive one just as like a souvenir to remember that, but unfortunately not. So, but
What a bummer.
right, you know, I knew it would get a reaction if I sent you something out of nowhere, and then it just happened to be something that you were into. So,
Yeah.
but
It's like my childhood. I was like, why'd you
Yeah.
go to like a wrestling event without me?
yeah, I did it to spite you.
Yeah.
While I'm playing.
Okay.
Yeah.
No surprises.
So that was my trip. If we wanted to get into yours.
You know, the Keys were nice. I went down to Key West. You know, it's a small island. The weather was beautiful. You know, since it's literally like 2 by 4 miles. Like I think the
Right.
whole island is like 7 cubic or squared miles or some shit.
Was it hotter than this?
No, like it was hot, and the sun was out, but there was a breeze the whole time.
Yeah.
It, you know, it really helped deal with that. But the problem with that is that I got so sunburnt for that reason because I felt comfortable. I was like, oh shit, it's not that bad. It was.
Yeah.
I was bright red. Still am a little bit, peachy.
You're recovering. But
Yeah.
as far as heat goes, Javon, I gotta say you're a trooper for keeping that jacket on.
Yeah, man, I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm sweating.
Yeah.
I'm sweating right now.
But the Palace
Hold
jacket
on.
goes crazy though.
Appreciate
So
man.
it was worth it, I think.
Yeah. You tried to move coconut drinks while you were out there?
I did.
Yeah.
I was a little surprised. For some reason I thought it would be like sweeter, but it wasn't bad.
Wasn't bad?
I think I'm just used to like processed like coconut milk where they're like adding sugar and stuff.
I'm sure it was refreshing as hell.
It really was though. Because that was the problem. Like I said, since you get comfortable with the breeze blowing, you don't realize like how hot you're getting. And I had to have been going through like heat exhaustion, like heat stroke type shit. Because I woke up at one point off of the beach,
Right.
and I was just like,
Oh no.
and I'm trying to like grasp like any sort of liquid nearby because I was just so dehydrated, and nothing was fixing that. I was just like, I needed water, and that whole 8-hour car ride there, I didn't drink any water there either. It was a bad experience, and I was still recovering from the cold, so it was just a lot piling on top. But past that, like, I mean, the shops are really cool. A lot of like the nightlife stuff was cool.
Sure.
The beaches were beautiful. I probably got some of like the best photography that I've gotten like ever.
Yeah.
And I've really been like trying to work on that and getting better with it. And it was generally fun because it was the most like far out of my comfort zone thing that I've done in a while. I'm so used to just like staying at home and focus on school, gotta get benched out of the way, gotta da-da-da-da-da. And it's always like I feel like there's something on top and I just never have that time to just like let off and relax.
Yeah.
And this was that first time where I was just like, yeah, I'm on an island. I'm chilling. Life is good.
Life is good.
It's still Florida, but it's just like, it just felt that way. It felt like one of those like, man, life is good.
Yeah.
But
Nah, when you think of Florida, you don't consider the Keys as like the Keys are essentially their own
yeah,
little bit of like.
they technically consider it like the Florida Keys, but it really is its own thing.
Yeah.
I was looking up facts like a total tourist, like one of those people that are like, what to do before going to the Keys or da-da-da-da-da. And, one of them was like, oh, they pronounce conch, conch. And you can't say conch or you'll sound like a tourist. I don't think anybody really cared.
Did you end up in any scenario where you had to say the word conch?
They love conchs, I guess. Conchs. Because they call themselves the Conch Republic.
Really?
And they like sell it at gift shops, and like everything will be called like the Conch Bar and Grill or something like that, and it's all themed.
Oh, okay.
So it was kind of related, but like it wasn't that big of a deal. They had something called conch fritters, which actually had like a clam kind of meat in it that was ground up, and then they had like cornmeal. It was almost like a hush puppy that had like clam and jalapeno in it, and it was actually kind of good.
So the Keys have a conch fetish?
Oh.
A conch fetish?
I'm gonna just let that one air out.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, okay, there
Yeah.
it is. Yeah. Nothing gets the Keys going like some good conch.
Yeah.
Care to comment?
Conch!
That's what's up, yeah.
Conch!
Yeah. They're like some ground up conch for, all meals of the day.
I can't say I've ever had conch. I mean, not
You
saying
sure?
I would go one way.
I feel like I've seen you eat a lot of conch actually.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah, like like a massive amount of conch. Like big conch, small conch.
All conchs.
All conch? Don't contribute. Why you gotta add to this, man? Don't. Don't egg him on.
Keep
No,
motivating.
I appreciate it.
No problem, man.
For the record, I have never had conch.
That sounds like somebody who eats a lot of conch. Sounds like you're in denial.
Did you eat conch while you were there?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You had that vacation conch?
Yeah,
How was it?
it's good.
Not the best conch you've ever had?
Yeah, I mean, like, when you're on vacation, you know, it stays there. You know, it's just something that, like, I tried once.
What happens in the Keys stays in the Keys?
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, for sure.
What's the best conch you ever had? Who gave you the best conch?
Honestly, you.
I don't ever recall giving you any conch.
Yo, we're gonna diverge. We're gonna split back. for a
Javon, I
second.
swear we're better than this.
He's like,
It's like, huh?
man, why the fuck did I do this podcast? So yeah, they had a lot of like cool local food. The conch thing. I didn't get to try key lime pie, but I guess it's like it hits different there.
Like, the Keys specifically are known
Key
for their
lime,
key
yeah.
lime pie? Apparently not known enough.
Yeah, apparently. Well, it's
I
key
will-
lime pie.
You know what? Yeah.
Yeah, and they said that if it's like green, then that's like no bueno. Like it's naturally more of like a yellow color.
Makes sense.
I don't know, but there was like a lot of stuff that I wanted to try. Didn't really get to try out because we were in a rush at times. But I was looking up these sites to see like what not to do and all that. What was I gonna say? I forget where I was leading to with that. I was being a corny tourist, basically, yeah.
Oh.
We'll just say that. If it comes
I
back
get
around,
that.
it'll come back. But it was overall fun.
Right.
There's a lot of stuff that I didn't know about it. Oh, that's where I was going. We were talking about like how it's not really part of Florida. They had actually like tried to declare their independence for like 5 minutes in like 1980s or something like that.
Oh, what?
Like I said, for 5 minutes. I gotta know the backstory on that. Like, they're just like, yeah, we're sick of Florida. We're independent now.
We're breaking free.
I
And
get
somebody
it.
literally is like, hey man, you need to chill the fuck out.
And then
Don't
they
do
just-
that. And they're like,
You're right. yeah.
actually, I take that back. We are not declaring.
Wow. What a rich history.
Yeah. I gotta imagine how that all went down.
Where'd you learn that? Was it just like a local or
A random website.
Oh, a website.
So even
Okay.
worse. That there's the total risk that we would have gotten there. And I was like, hey, can I get some of the conch fritters? And they're like, the fuck?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you have to find that balance when you know you're a tourist and try not to
Yeah.
show that you're a tourist. There really shouldn't be any shame in being a tourist. Like, it seems like such a nice vacation spot. Like,
No, it really was. I think that's the thing. They do know that it's very touristy in general. I think that Key West of all of the different keys was like the most touristy just because it's the southernmost point.
oh, that breeze. Sorry.
That was
I
good.
feel-
Yeah.
So I felt. That's how I felt up there. I bet. Right?
It
Keys.
you know, there's like stuff like Key Largo is like one of the first ones you go through. There was definitely a lot to do out there, but it's just not Key West. And I have a feeling that that's kind of the thing too. I'm sure that there's a lot of people who work in Key West that probably don't live there per se.
Right.
You know, the main like touristy spot is like Duval Street, which I thought was funny.
Yeah,
It's
what?
called Duval Street. And it reminded me a lot of like St. Augustine or like those kind of old like historic towns where they become very like gift shop and bars and little like treats here and there. It was very similar just in the general like vibe of St. Augustine. But the cool thing was like you could literally walk everywhere. You could probably walk from one end of the island to the other in like less than an hour.
Oh, that's tight.
Yeah. So, you know, there's not really a lot of driving to do there. But parking was a bitch. Like, parking, because it's such a small island and there's not much parking spaces, they kind of want to incentivize you to bike. So parking is like $5 an hour, and if you're sitting at the beach, that's like $30. And we were there for 3 days, so you're spending like $60. We had 2 cars, that's $120. If anytime you want to go to the bar or anything, and you have to put it down for like 4 hours, that's still $20. It all added up to being like, I think, 300, 400 just on parking.
Gross.
For everybody. It was awful. But it's a nice walk.
Yeah, for sure. Where's the best place that you've been able to go?
Just in general?
I'd say so. Yeah.
Man.
I'm gonna let you go while these bugs are eating me.
Yeah, eating you up right there?
Yeah.
Out of all the places I've been in my life, I'm trying to think, man. I really enjoy these California caverns. They're like underground.
Yeah.
Like you go under, they got like the crystallized rock formations. It was very peaceful out there. But honestly, I just really like Orlando.
Yeah.
Like Orlando and Florida, like that city is very nice. It's very open. San Fran is cool to visit. Like I think it's cool to visit, but living out there is like it's a different environment, different pace. I remember you talked earlier, like
even
coolness.
even when I have visited, it's just like the people are kind of off. It's kind of like an awkward, quiet feeling. Especially in San Fran to live. It is such a big city. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
But they have their own problems out there too, where like I feel like it's nice to see from the outside, but then when you like look at actually living there, I feel like it would be a completely different situation. Like what was I gonna say?
Like golden on the outside, but poopy on the inside, maybe.
Yeah. It's
I mean, there literally is poop on the streets.
Yeah, I know that they have like a big homelessness issue, and that was something that I didn't even experience just like being a tourist.
Yeah.
And I was like, it was kind of like sad to see, because when you hear about like San Fran on like the news and stuff, or not even just the news or like TV, anything like that, it always just sounds like this really pretty place, and it's got like the fresh coat of paint, and when you go there, you could tell that there's like seriously an issue there, like some sort of systemic problem that isn't being solved. And when you're there, it's nice because you're there, because
Yeah.
with that thought of the
my buddy Jerry, he's like, I love San Fran.
Yeah, you had to come tell us real quick. It's just, you go there with that same mindset of like, oh, but this place is beautiful though, and this is San Francisco.
Right.
But in that, like, you get that lingering thought in your mind of just like, man, like it's kind of fucked up here. There's something wrong.
Yeah.
It's a little bit depressing, like bittersweet.
Oh. The most experience I've had with San Fran is just like Full House. Just like that and like the Warriors. But actually, I was gonna get into more basketball talk, but I can't, or at least not yet.
He said he doesn't want to get sad yet.
Yeah. My Heat got eliminated.
They out there.
Yeah. Actually, let me get into it real quick now.
No, let's get into it.
You sure? All right.
Right afterwards, we went to go get some Wawa in the morning.
Right. I was on a call with Colin watching the game, and I told him if the Heat win and move on to the finals, we're getting celebratory Wawa, and I'll pay for whatever. And then they didn't win, so then we went in mourning. On the car ride there, he rolled the windows down, played what was the X? It was like Kanye's song with X.
New Kanye X song, True Love. Shouldn't be this complicated.
Yeah, so he rolled the windows down for me. I was just like looking out like when you were a kid in the backseat of a car, just looking out the window like you were in a music video.
Yeah.
Felt like that.
Looking out like
yeah,
they lost. Looking out the window, all the memories flash by in like a flashback.
Yeah, all the highlights.
Him, I just imagine
Gone.
like a little like 5-year-old Devin in a big Heat jersey.
Yeah.
It's just like,
we'll win this.
Yeah.
it cuts
No.
dramatically back to
Get
Devin.
out of here, man.
No, it was really a painful night because like everything Everything reminded me of them. I, I, I didn't even realize, but I was wearing a basketball-related shirt, and I just wanted to escape. 'Cause it was just like,
It's like I gotta take this off.
yeah, I needed to dissociate real quick. But everything was. The day after, which was yesterday, I took like a self-care day. Just like, I was so depressed.
Gotta recharge on it, you know.
Yeah, 'cause the games brought me so much anxiety just watching. So I guess if there's any good part of that is having it be over with, I can be happy with how the season went, and it was relatively successful to what was expected of the team going into the season.
Yeah.
But
good.
you know, we could have always just went a little bit farther. Like, did you watch the game?
I'm gonna be straight up honest with y'all. I do not watch sports like at all.
Me either.
I'm gonna be honest.
Same boat.
I'm gonna be honest, man. But I can't say I understand your pain, but I can't imagine like a little Devin in like a
Right.
Heat jersey. Like I thought we had it. It's like I know you're somewhere playing in the background. something
Yeah.
like that.
Just in pain. You know?
Just in pain. I can't imagine that.
Nah, but what's sad about little Devin watching the games is the Heat were winning. Like 10 years ago, we did have like
Oh, yeah.
we
Balling
were winning
out.
championships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just trying to get back to that, man.
Trying to live his glory days. His childhood felt like it was coming back.
Uh-oh. Seeing
Everything.
the memory right there or something?
Yeah.
It's like,
It's like, wow. Oh, he just missed. Okay.
yeah.
It's rough out here. But I'm done with my Heat talk. I don't want to be sad for the next 30 or so minutes.
He's just gonna get
Yeah.
back in his feelings.
Yeah, I'm already like being eaten up and all that. I don't like.
Tearing you up, man.
Yeah, the one time I wear shorts, the one time my legs are
The
out.
one time you got the knees out, it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
punishing you for it.
Honestly. And again, you still in that jacket,
Hey,
like you're making
hey,
me
that's
hot
my
just
cue.
by like.
All right, that's my cue. I got
Honestly, yeah.
you.
Just seeing you is making me hot too, and you still have a black shirt. And I'm playing.
Throw it right here. I want to cover up this. All right, this is important.
Yeah.
The bench podcast.
And then
of course.
proceeds to sit back down in front
Yeah,
of me.
that's a fair point. Man. It's a fair point.
But, yeah, I'm done with my Heat talk. There's a fly on you. There's everything is
Hey.
just
It's all good. That's how you know we're in the nature, right?
right.
Yeah.
That's how you know we're in nature.
We're actually out here. You
We're
know,
out here.
no green screen. We're not faking it.
Yeah.
True that. How y'all feel about like social media and stuff? What's y'all take on that, man? Just in general, like a generalized take. How y'all feel about that?
It's like, I don't know. I feel like I think we know that there's issues with it. I think that there's a lot of nuance to it. I think that there's something where like it can be something that's cool and enjoyable, but I think that at the state we're at right now, you know, there's a lot to it that can feel kind of fake.
Yeah.
You know, I think that it'd be nice. You give your opinion real quick.
Okay. All right. Man, I think social media is a great tool. I think it'd be good to like promote your stuff and everything.
That's how we get out there.
Yeah, man. I mean, you got to promote it in some way. Don't take advantage of like the technology, like digital age. But I think like especially with our generation, we're entering like an age where it's almost so much that people don't go outside no more. Especially like when everybody was in quarantine and stuff. You know, you saw like the deterioration of social skills. But people just don't want to talk no more, and I think it's because it's like, why go out and talk when I have it all on my phone or all on my computer? But also, I think it'd be dangerous. Is like, and not everybody does this, but if you put too much attention to it, it almost becomes an alternate version of yourself. If y'all get what I'm saying? Like a performance, and that can kind of deteriorate and take away from who you actually are, because you're almost trying to perform to meet a certain persona. And I think that's the danger of it. But if you're not doing that, I mean, if you're using it as a tool or just to connect, because when you do get off all of it, you kind of do, because like, let's just be real, like literally over half the population probably has social media, right? Like,
Yeah.
So when you get away from that, you're kind of like disconnecting with people in a way. So
I gotta ask, is that like why you like left for a bit?
yeah. I deleted it, and I don't want to say like I regret it, but part of me wants to, for example, like Snapchat's good, like keep up with like the homies and people and check up on them. But I think personally, I think I deleted it, especially like my Instagram, because I think like the ego was taking over me. You know what I mean? And I had to kind of humble myself and really just see like, hey man, this ain't who you are. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to perform all the time, but I kind of wanted to disappear. But I think I almost, like, I don't want to say I like eliminated myself, but like I deleted. I guess you can say I deleted a part of myself in a way, because you know we're Gen Z. We all grew up with it. Like maybe you had it when you were 11, 12. So in a way, it kind of is like a part of you. So I can't say that.
Nah, I'd say like you in high school, you did have that like reputation as like the video guy.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Like, and I'd say those videos were like good for the community that you sort of like single-handedly put together, as far as like the students.
There were like a ton of times where just like being a part of those videos, whether on camera or like indirectly, like I did end up meeting people through you that I probably wouldn't have beforehand either too. And I think that's kind of like where that all made sense too, is like bringing people together, making new connections, and doing something that's just as lighthearted, but like all those other things behind it also kind of like added up too.
Like genuine, not just like the video. It's like everything that the people and the community and stuff that came with it kind of connects. I appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
That made my day, for real. Thank y'all.
To get more into like Javon, or a little bit of what we're talking about, throughout high school, around, would you say, what grade did you start doing that?
Probably like junior year.
I was gonna say,
year.
yeah. Right around the time we became upperclassmen, Javon started these videos where he would essentially you would make your own music videos to songs, and it would incorporate a bunch of different people, and it was like very lighthearted, very fun, and like we said, good for like just getting people like up and doing something. Like it was, and it led to a lot of like popularity for you, I'd say, and then in turn, I guess, like you were saying, creating that persona.
Yeah.
Which I can get how it can be unhealthy, so I entirely understand like stepping away, but you did a good thing, I'd say, by like making them in the first place.
Appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. I might do it again, man. I don't know if it'll be, obviously it won't be like the same kind of like high school, because we're out of high school, but
no, that'd be kind of weird
community.
if you went back like, hey, remember me? Like, I know I like deleted everything, but
remember me?
Yeah.
I'll go like maybe just community where I'm at, or just in general, man. Maybe just get people back together and just kind of try to, especially like while I'm back home now, and try to just connect, because I think that's important. I think as we grow, as I said, like in the digital age, I think it's important to just face-to-face communication, like as we're having right now. People don't do this that much, but face-to-face is the most like just way to get to the core when you talk to somebody, you know. So that's how I view it.
For sure. Yeah, I was gonna say I remember. I'll probably like see if I can get some clips of it, just that I could like show for an example.
Yeah, of course.
Muted, of course.
Yeah, muted. You know, I know that you did like a bunch of skit videos as well. You had your like Hillbilly Vaughn ones.
Yeah.
You know, that's something that, you know, now after high school and after all that, like we're starting to try and get into like skit videos and other stuff like that. And, you know, I kind of see where you're coming from with like the whole persona talk, where when you are trying to like build something online, it's something that I've really ran into a lot with this project and, you know, the Colin and Devin stuff. You know, you have to talk about like building a brand and, you know, kind of like trying to create that image that you want to be put out there.
Yeah.
And like you said, it does feel like you're putting up this front. You know, you kind of get like some sort of imposter syndrome to some extent. You know, you kind of like, am I really like putting out the best version of me on the internet? When something does well, you know, at times I'll sit there and think like, oh shit, like, is this the best thing I'll do? Is this like, do I have to keep doing this to get that level of views again? And
Yeah.
there is like a certain expectation, like I said, that everything has to be consistent and the same, but different at the same time, to where it doesn't feel like it's just repetitive. And there is a lot of pressure to that. It would be cool to see you come back to the videos and stuff. And now that we're trying to do stuff too, I think it'd be cool to work on things. But I definitely see where you're coming from, and
Now we can empathize with you.
yeah,
A little bit, yeah.
Beforehand, we were just focusing on not failing high school,
Yeah.
and Javon was out here making connections and doing shit that I didn't worry about until now. And I do think that there's some lessons to that. It is weird, just seeing how much we've changed too, because we did have an episode where we talked about the, we're not going to say it by name, but the Mr. Our High School is what we called it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like that was also, you mentioned it being junior year, that was kind of in that same time period.
Yeah.
That was when I really met you, and we started we were doing the talent show, and you did the skit.
Yeah, I remember that. Holy crap, yeah.
You two were rivals.
I think, right, or competition was crazy.
Yeah.
At this mock pageant, we were just neck and neck. But I was originally gonna do something stupid, because I was I have no idea what my talent is. It's I don't have a talent. I was I wanted to work on music so bad, but I just did not have the confidence to do it. And originally I was gonna, just bail out of doing the song, and I ended up. My other option was literally gonna throw cards at balloons and see if I could pop them. It was gonna be so bad. I was literally in my room and I was practicing. I was trying to do some, what's it called? The Marvel guy.
Gambit?
Gambit, yeah. I had no accuracy. It was terrible.
You were trying to be a corny magician?
I've
Yeah.
been clean, though. I've been clean, I ain't gonna lie.
If you were able to get it. But this is Colin we're talking
Yeah,
about.
this is the problem.
So-
It's not something that I did.
Yeah.
It was just me trying to think of something that would be entertaining. And
If you pulled that out and I had to learn that that's something that you just did,
yeah,
we wouldn't be here now.
yeah.
I'll say that much.
But I ended up following through with the song because of, I think, all of the people involved. But that would include you and some of the other people that were there, like Mac, and I forget some of the other names. But everybody that was there kind of helped persuade me to actually do what I wanted to do, which was the song.
Yeah.
Without that, that was a big defining moment for me. That I used to be so introverted and quiet, and something like that, performing a song live on stage, just sounded like death. I could not fathom it. Yeah, it was so out of my comfort zone. But I think if it
grow though, right?
It did. And I think I wouldn't be able to do something like this as comfortably as I am without that experience too. But I will say probably the highlight of that night was you trolling the ROTC master. What's his name?
I don't know if we should be using that. Then maybe that might be a bleep.
Yeah, we'll bleep for sure.
Okay, yeah, that's a bleep.
And I forget what the context was, but everybody was just dying about it.
Yeah.
I think that you kind of did a lot of crowd work and some real comedic shit that I, at that time didn't realize the level that takes. Something that being able to control the room like that. You were just a very out there eccentric person. And it was interesting to kind of watch that go down the way it did. Do you have any thoughts on how are you feeling going into that, and how did that really change your perspective on things, just that whole night, I guess?
Sure. That was a very fun experience. Of course, I know, always start off by saying that. I would also say that it was fun, seeing the crowd and just being able to just go in, and because I honestly, some of that stuff I just did on the wing.
Yeah.
I had a thought of how to do it, and I
Right.
just started going, and you gotta kind of just see like body language and just pick up on it. But it was fun. It taught me a lot. It taught me to step out my comfort zone too. I was like, I'm just gonna just go for it, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that was definitely fun. But I can't say this now that like I'm out of high school and stuff, like that just like that whole that competition stuff to me, I don't know, it's all personal preference, right? But I don't feel like that was like a leader. I feel like that also kind of played into like the ego boost, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Versus like a community orientated like leader for the people versus just like versus a praise me. I didn't want that.
Yeah.
But it was fun. It was fun like doing that competition and really just going out there. I think every time we step out our comfort zones, and I'm sure y'all have seen that as soon as we graduated, you really just start to see breaks full of change. I mean, in our most uncomfortable situations, we become open to the greatest change. Avatar Aang. But yeah. Avatar Aang, shout out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out the homie.
Shout out.
Yeah, and with you talking about like it being so far out of your comfort zone, do you feel like doing it even to that extent, because we've talked about like the social media thing, but just in performance I feel like I also kind of had to put on this like persona to like differentiate. And I was going to say, do you feel like that really just comes with the social media territory, or is that more of like an entertainment thing? Do you think like the thought of, in order to be comfortable with putting yourself out there and trying to become something that you're not, you kind of create this like false sense of identity to try and like cope with the stress and anxiety of being out there and possibly like embarrassing yourself? Do you think that maybe like it's more the entertainment factor that like creates the facade, I guess?
Man, that's a wonderful evaluation of that. I mean, the way you clarified that really like that just opened my eyes. Even like, of course we say social media, but also like entertainment wise, I feel like you don't have to, right? But putting up the persona is almost an extra layer to protect it's like a shell around who you are, because if it goes bad, they're like, well, I was just doing this, right? And it wasn't me. But at the same time, now people, and just in entertainment wise, just in general, people are looking for that genuine performance of people just being themselves, right? Yeah. But sometimes people don't want that. Like from entertainment industry, they want the acting. But now, like as we're entering digital age and everything's becoming kind of superficial, like what we're doing right now, and like what this podcast is just like showing and symbolizing is true, just genuine talks and conversations. It's not like, oh, what did this celebrity do, or this, that. Yeah. So I think everyone does put up a persona in a way. Whether you're Tyler the Creator, whether you're ASAP Rocky, whether just anybody, I think everybody has to put up this front sometimes. But it's like, I guess they say fake it till you make it. Yeah. But I don't agree with that 100% now that like I've been through something like that. But yeah, I can say that.
There's like a lot more nuance to it, I guess. Maybe it's not that it's entirely like bad per se, or that it's necessarily great either. Like maybe there's just like more of a balance to it, where like you kind of, with everybody trying to be an entertainer or something in some way, where they want to be different and they want to like find what gets them the most likes and basing that their validation off of that. To some extent maybe that persona is to help not only boost but also just like protect yourself when something does go wrong. But then also having to like, a healthy way maybe to look at it is to find when to disassociate. Like when you do have success, it's not because of that persona per se. You have something more to it, where like, yes, you had one video, for me on TikTok, I had my biggest video has 100,000 views, and it's me shaking ass on a counter. It's awful. I was in my underwear kicking my feet around. Like, it was goofy as hell. And for a while I sat there and I was like, yo, so what is really going to make me like big? Is it just going to be like dumb videos like this? Or is it going to be like the shit that I put the time into?
There you
And
go. Yeah.
that's where that, like, you know, that false sense of identity comes in and you start to worry about it. I think that it's kind of learning about when you need to see, like, okay, maybe, like, that got lucky, but that does not mean that my whole personality has to be me shaking ass on the counter in my underwear. Like, kind of finding a balance where you're like,
It helped.
it, it helped, but it's like, I don't want to be that guy that then does that over and over again and runs the joke out to death, and then I have nothing else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm so set that that is my personality and that is my identity, and that's what validates me as a person because I got the most likes on that.
But you
Right.
can't be serious all the time. That's like where you. That's where you're saying the balance. Because if you're just serious all the time, like, oh, this guy, blah blah blah. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So having a balance, I mean, that just shows you have good awareness. So good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
I feel like maybe, you know, when we talk about that, the social media conversation and how, like, maybe the persona is bad, I was saying, like, it's definitely, I think, more of a nuanced thing where social media can be this great thing where you can connect people, you know, you can get ideas out there, whether it be serious or just like funny shit, you know, you're just trying to entertain people. But I do think that there is like a bit of a focus on it where everybody wants to feel more self-important than they are. People want to make money quick and they want to be that guy that's just like a natural entertainer or something that will make them that money quick. And I think that everybody has this expectation that they just need to be absolutely perfect down to like fine tuning and create themselves as a brand to
Yes.
where then you don't think of yourself as a person. You know, you think of yourself as this image of you, not really you.
The name
Yeah.
versus who you are.
Yeah.
Any thoughts, man?
I know I
No,
kind of just spitball for a while, but
No, it's all right.
No, typically if you have something rolling and I agree, I won't interrupt. And this was one of those moments. I think you kind of hit the nail on the head. Yeah, it definitely helps to dissociate a little bit. Yeah, I really don't have much to add as far as that.
yeah. You know, it's something that we're still seeing the effects of today. You know, like I think that the millennials kind of first were the ones to experiment with, you know, growing up with social media, and
Yeah.
we're seeing how that affected them. I think that Gen Z is looking at that and kind of being a little bit more cautious and aware and calling to action like, hey, you know, social media isn't great for you. I think that it's just, you know, trying to be more aware of it in order to like proceed with caution.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that we do that we enjoy but know that hurt us. You know, it's, you know, any sort of like drinking or like, you know, shit that generally isn't great for you, but it's fun. But with all those things, we like to proceed with caution, and I think that if you don't look at like social media that same way, just in terms of like the serotonin and shit that you get just from getting those likes,
Yeah.
I think that if you don't approach it with this level of like nuance or thought ahead of time, it can get really toxic and it can get really like hard to deal with, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you asked in the car like one of the first things you asked when we got into the car was what are your values? And like I said, just not letting myself get too up or too down.
Yeah.
Like, and that's like social media as a whole is kind of what I was referring to, and to an extent, like we're like you were talking about like dissociating, creating that persona. And I'd say I've thought about that at times, but for the most part, we're still relatively small, and I try not to put that stress on us when this is still a fun thing and it's not supposed to feel like a chore. And I think
Good.
if we are blessed enough to have this become like something that pays, then I could worry about that. But I try to keep that out of my head for now, for the most part, just knowing that our audience is still like not up there yet, hopefully. So you know, that's just my 2 cents.
Yeah. I definitely think that like there's times where, you know, Devin kind of is the cooler head, and that helps me kind of realize when I'm going a little too far, because I do think that that's been my problem, is finding that balance. And you know, we get one video that goes big, and I'm like, oh shoot, like we got to do this and this and this to pump out more content, and I, you know, learning that firsthand that like, you know, right now I think we're gonna, you know, briefly mention now the live streams I think are gonna go on a pause, and we're gonna think of like a new way to kind of approach that, and we want to kind of like refocus a lot of our other Colin and Devin content stuff.
I think the lives were a good example of like
Spreading ourselves too thin.
exactly like a video did well or something, and you're like, okay, yeah, let's try this, and then it's essentially just another hour of us spreading our opinions that like like trying to talk about stuff that we didn't get to on the pod,
Yeah.
and like spreading ourselves too thin, as well as like the audience that we have are like, why do we have to care? Like, why are we still here?
Yeah.
No, but so we want to be more articulate and thoughtful about the stuff that we put out. Like this is, I was telling Javon, this is relatively easy to do. It's just find a spot, set up the camera, talk for an hour, boom, and like we want to explore more creative outlets. And so if we are going to put out more content based around like successes, we want it to be worth something that we can be proud of.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Good.
Yeah. It's that's definitely where the live stream came in. It was like an extra hour of content, you know. You look at it that way, and then you don't think about like, well, is the content actually like high quality? You know, instead of trying to focus on fitting more into the podcast or being more efficient with our conversation, being more entertaining and getting everything in. You know, the thought was, oh, we can do this extra live stream, and then it almost cannibalizes itself. You know, you have the podcast. We know that we want to talk about the TV shows on the live stream, so on the podcast we'll talk about, you know, everything else. And then the podcast, we get there and it's just kind of like lazy and tired, and we don't really know what to do to fill the space. And then we go to do the live stream and it's like, oh, it was a good live stream. Or on the vice versa.
Yeah.
Then you have like a really good podcast where we have like a really full conversation. And then we go to do the live stream and we're kind of just stumbling through it like, oh shit, what was there to talk about? Oh yeah, the TV shows. It kind of, you can only give so many opinions every week, and that's really what elevated that stress, because I'm just like, man, I'm talking for 2 hours out my ass about some opinions that I may not even be that hot about, and I'm trying to like make it entertaining, and that really did set in the imposter syndrome, and just like the fatigue was crazy.
No, in the time since we talked about pausing the lives, I was like, I thought about if I really needed to have an opinion on every little thing.
Exactly. Because there are some things where it's just like, everybody wants to have an opinion and everybody wants to have a hot take. I don't think we have to. I think that we can just like enjoy things, talk about stuff that we like. And it doesn't have to be like oh hey, like I have to give my, you know, in-depth thought on this TV show just because I said I have to. Or like, oh, you know, if we miss these topics, we won't be able to talk about it next week because it'll be too late.
Yeah. Right.
It's like sometimes we could just chalk it up to just being like, all right, shit, we missed it.
Yeah. I was going to say, to correct myself, maybe not have an opinion, but more just like, not every opinion is worth sharing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like,
definitely.
If we're just putting stuff out there to put stuff out there, that's lazy, you know? So, but it's hard. It's still hard from week to week trying to find things to talk about, I'd say.
Yeah.
But yeah.
There's some weeks where it's like busy, you know, this whole Amber Heard thing has been crazy. You know, when there's anything like somewhat political happening, you know, there's more shit to talk about. And then anything like comedic, like if it's a big movie week or a big music week, like, you know, we can.
Is the Amber Heard thing done? Because I'm over it. I'm so tired
of
the edits.
I was over it way before. I think that I was getting annoyed with the edits and the TikTok presence.
Let me just say I was never for it. I was never for it. like the whole situation is
It was
all
a
kinds of
defamation case between
Yeah.
a dude and his ex-wife, and
it's
I was
all
like,
kinds of fucked in the first place. But to glamorize and glorify Johnny, and I don't know, it's just like this is a domestic abuse thing.
yeah,
Oh,
we can move out
he's
the way, I
slowly
guess.
backing up.
Yeah. I don't know what to do. Should we move out of the way?
I would. Yeah.
Are you about to come through real fast? Circle? Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Cool.
Wow. Thank you for being here, because only
Yeah,
you would
because
be able
I would
to.
have just awkwardly stared and waited.
Only you would be able to diffuse that.
55? Oh, shit.
Oh,
Yeah. By the
Solid.
time you circles, there we go.
Real quick before we, give our thoughts, like, what do you think about the whole Amber Heard thing? I accidentally said Amber Turd, like, and it was a
No,
stutter. It
the
was like
meme.
not even in perfect. Damn. What are your thoughts?
yeah. Just take the mic away.
I'm not sure. I don't really have no thoughts at the moment. I'm not sure.
That's fair.
Thank you.
I think
for
that-
being honest, not
Yeah.
not having an opinion
Not like,
worth
yeah,
sharing.
you know what? I think it's kind of annoying. I have no idea what I'm talking about, but yeah,
Perfect
this.
example.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't really know. And I don't really know the people enough. And
Yeah.
also, it's just, but I love Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be
that's
honest,
hey,
I
that's a
love
good
Pirates of
opinion.
the
Yeah,
Banger.
shit.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for fear of not making myself sound stupid, I'm gonna not say anything more.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
sure. Like you said earlier, sometimes it's okay.
You don't have, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I haven't really been paying attention either. I think that my issue is just the ripple effect that it has had on TikTok, where, like you kind of mentioned earlier, like people are kind of glorifying this whole situation. It's a defamation case between two ex-spouses, and it wouldn't matter if they weren't celebrities.
Right.
Bingo.
And, what happened from what it seems like, the Amber Heard thing, it sounds like she was very manipulative, but it doesn't sound like Johnny Depp was the perfect angel that everybody on TikTok is portraying him as. And, like I said, I can't really speak on what happened in the trial exactly, but the way that people have cut the clips out and they make like little TikTok edits and they're like, look at how snarky and like cool Johnny Depp is, and look at how funny he is, and he's being so sarcastic, and he's not taking this seriously because this is a witch hunt for him. And it's like, I've noticed that a lot of those TikToks generally get used in this kind of gross way where they kind of glorify what's happening as an example of like I literally had a friend who was sending me these, and I was like, yeah, no, I don't really pay attention to this. And then he, calls me and he talks to me about it, and he probably gave me a lot of concerning takes about it. He was saying that, man, this is what happens to all those celebrities, man. They're always getting their name lied on. It's all these women just, they're lying and taking advantage of these dudes who have money and da-da-da-da. And this is where my issue is, where it's like, the thought of sexual assault and, what she was claiming that Johnny Depp did to her is a very nuanced topic where there's not always going to be the gold digger that's taking advantage, and there's not always going to be the da-da-da-da-da. There may be certain cases of it, like this. This is so televised and well documented. But the problem is now, the way that this whole Johnny Depp portrayal is going, I feel like it almost has this counter effect where now people are trying to use it as this, hey, don't always believe the victim thing. And, I think that it's not a bad idea to look at both sides. But I think that they're not just taking it in a don't always believe the victim straight off the bat. They're emphasizing it in a way that comes off as, let's not believe the victim at all until proven otherwise. And it just feels very extreme on the other hand.
They're treating it as a precedent as opposed to like an exception to a, or
Yeah.
I mean instead of a singular case.
Look, we've caught them all because we caught this one case.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I feel like that hurts a lot of movements for women's rights, or not even just women, but like sexual assault victims, like that can be men or women or, you know, any gender, whatever it may be. Sexual assault is something that happens to everybody, and it kind of creates this, this talk about it where it feels like there's more of like a pressure to believe that this is the every case, like every single time. Oh, you know, holy shit, that's a snake.
That is a snake. B-roll.
That's a snake. That's a snake.
B-roll. Hey, I don't know if that's a racer. What is that?
I think that's a racer because it's black. Like just
Cam,
No
you're a
rattle,
brave man.
nothing.
Oxen.
he is brave. Yeah, holy shit, that is a snake. Oh my
Hey,
god.
good eye.
Yo. No, I saw that and I was like, that is a fucking snake. I hate snakes.
I thought that was
Looking behind, yeah.
Yeah, bro,
I thought
I'm-
that was a stick or something.
Jeez. Hey, why that stick moving?
Yeah, that thing was big.
That was a
yeah.
snake.
That was like a good, what would you say, like 3 feet?
Did you catch that?
Not
Yeah.
this big. Minimum this big.
That shit was wild.
Cam, did you catch it? Let's go.
Cam, you gotta be our eye. If that thing comes up behind us,
Yeah.
I am jumping and
100%,
running.
Trust me.
That's contact. That's
I know
content.
we're already towards the end, so I'm gonna just sit like this for the rest of the time.
Imagine the snake just like chills on the bench and we just can't move it.
just like.
Like, well,
So, what are
Hey,
your thoughts
hey,
on
that-
Amber Heard?
Honestly, the best take I've heard all day.
Yo, you spitting right now. You spitting. Spitting.
Javon, there you go.
It's a snake. That was a real snake.
No, that was
Gotta
quite
take a
big.
walk after that one, yeah.
Later, man. It was fun. But, ooh, and also like the bug still. But, how long have we been going?
Close enough.
101?
Yeah.
That's solid. Is that including like the cut? Well,
Any last thoughts that we want to wrap off on?
pleasure having you on. I'll say
Appreciate
that
that.
much.
I'm gonna give you the handshake for that one. Thank
Yeah,
Wow.
it
Yeah.
really was a good time. Good talk.
you. Yeah.
You know, you've always been somebody that, you know, I think that wanted to like open people's minds to other topics. And, you know, we wanted to give you your flowers for that because I think that a lot of those conversations, not just between us, but other people that we went to school with and like the community, I think that you kind of had that same ripple effect on. I think that, you know, it's a good conversation to have. You know, just you and Snake is back.
Oh, Snake is back.
It's back.
Yo, imagine we were trying to like move the bench back.
I'm trying to give like a
Yeah.
right. I'm trying to give this like, oh, it's going to the water.
Ew.
No, it's going to the pool, bruh.
Moccasin.
Moccasin.
Probably.
Yeah,
Could be.
not fucking with that.
Nope. He hears the water.
It's probably gonna
Nah,
be
there's
scared of you, low key. So I think it's gonna be scared of people.
Yeah.
I think as long as we get close to it, it's probably gonna stay the fuck back.
Right. Now there's a pool like right behind the camera,
Yeah.
and it is just like teasing me for real because I feel so sweaty and sticky
Yeah.
because it was so hot, and that's really all I'm like thinking about right now.
Man, the snake just completely derailed this whole nice little outro
know.
I was trying to give for Javon.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just saying it's nice to have people who are like a lot more open to talking and creating some new conversation. And, you know, we appreciate you for that.
Sure.
Appreciate you coming on. It's been a good one.
Yeah.
Next week, we will be at the beach again, I think. Yes. Yeah, into the beach.
Cam's face. You're like, oh, we are okay.
Um,
I can say to everybody in class 2020, I genuinely hope y'all are doing good.
yeah,
And hit me up if you want to.
definitely.
Yeah.
Do you want any,
You have
like,
anything
you want
you
to plug
wanna
your social at all?
Oh yeah. I made a new one, but it's it used to be a business one, but now it's gonna be just a tiny one. But it's Javon Jones CYR.
Nice.
Create your reality.
On Instagram.
Instagram. Yeah.
There it is.
Like that, like that?
Yeah.
Yes, if you guys want to get in touch, Mr. Javon, very talented. You heading back to California soon?
Yeah, I'll be here for about a couple more days. I'll be here next Wednesday. So
Gotcha.
I can't do the math on top of my head to be honest, but I think it's like what 9 days.
Yeah, for
Give
sure.
or take. Yeah. This
Just
will be out on Friday, so
3,
Make your
4 days.
plans.
Yeah.
be on the lookout.
And also, if you're still trying to struggle to figure out what you want to do, like we just graduated, take your time, don't force it, and don't feel the pressures of everybody else.
Yeah.
Find yourself and find what you want to do, and live a life of happiness and fulfillment, because you only get one.
Yeah.
That's my closing.
All right. Well, we'll see you all next week. Thanks for watching.
Follow us on everything as well.
Yeah.
Bye.
Good plug.
Bitch.